Hello everyone. Welcome to the day three of this workshop. Hello Sagar. Glad to see you so soon. So let's wait for 1 to 2 minutes for the students to come. Then we shall continue where we left. Good evening, Sagar. Good evening, Shruti. Okay, so let's not discuss. Okay, people are coming. Okay, let's not wait any more time. F9 Creative, rather F9. Welcome back. So, did anyone have any doubts in the previous session? You can ask now. I will give you a doubt session for 5 to 10 minutes, then we shall continue for today's session. Does anyone have any doubt? Okay, I think no one has any doubts, so everyone is clear. That's good. So let me just recap things quickly. Okay, so in yesterday's class, we learned about operators and the use of the operators, the types of operators. Then we learned about the conditional statements. Then we learned about the loops, three types of loops and entry control and exit control loops. Then we learned about functions or methods, their return types and parameterized function, non-parameterized function, and recursion. Okay, so this was taught in previous session. Now in today's session, we have a new concept that is OOPS concept. Okay, so let me create a package for day three. Okay, so package, it is day three and I need a Java class that should be main. Let me add it. And I also need a markdown file for notes. Okay, let me dot md. Okay. Hello, आज किस किस टॉपिक पे बात होगी? Yes, F9, I'm just going to tell you that today's session is about the OOPS concept. Okay. Now, what is OOPS? Let's start the session. So, what is OOPS? Okay. Generally, it is OOP and it stands for Object Oriented Programming. Okay. Object Oriented Programming. So then the question comes, what is object? Okay. So for to know object, let's first know the definition of programming. Okay. So object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm based on the concept of objects. So what is object? Object is a real-world entity that have attributes and behaviors. Listen carefully. Object is a real-world entity that have attributes and behaviors. So what are the attributes? The attributes can be any kind of data. And what are the behavior? Behavior is any kind of methods. In particular Java, we can say behavior is any kind of methods. Okay. So then comes what is class. Okay. Class is a blueprint or template for creating objects. Okay. Let me take an example. Consider a mouse. Okay. Consider a mouse and it has some properties. Okay. What are the properties? The mouse has a color. The mouse has a number of buttons. Okay. And the mouse has a particular length. This can be the data about mouse. Okay. So let me write it. Object example. Okay. So let it be mouse. So what are the properties? Mouse has a color. Mouse has buttons. Okay. Number of buttons. Then mouse has a length. Mouse has a weight and etc. Okay. So what should be the behavior of the mouse? The behaviors are mouse clicks. That's like single click. Then double click. Then we can say scroll. Okay, so these are the behaviors. Okay, so In an object, the object has the particular values of the data and behavior. But in the class, it is only the blueprint of an object. Okay. If I say only mouse, there are various kinds of mouse. If I say keyboard, there are various kinds of keyboard. If we say particular keyboard, then the keyboard has certain values inside the data. Then it is called an object. Okay. So taking another example, we humans are a class. Okay, in humans, in the world, we humans are the class. Inside humans, the people are objects as the male, female. We are objects. I am a particular object, and you are a particular object. Every other person is a particular object, but we all belong to the human class. Okay, Neeraj Sharma, good evening. Okay, so let's take the example, and let me close it. Then we shall learn in the practical implementation. Okay, so coming to day 3. See, you can see here, I have written here public class main. So here the class keyword is used to declare a class. Okay. Okay, let me take another class. Let it be class mouse. M should be capital, class mouse. And within curly braces, we can define its attributes, that is the data and its properties. Okay. So mouse has a color. So color is a string. So I can declare string color. Okay. So mouse has a weight. I can declare as let me take integer. Consider the integer value weight. Okay. So then again comes number of buttons int num of buttons. Okay. Then what are the behaviors of the mouse? The behaviors of mouse are scrolling, clicking, etc., and double clicking. Okay. So how can we define that? We can create the methods. So how can we create method? We learned in the previous classes that to create a method, we need the return type first. So let me take void, then single click, as mouse has a single click. Then we can write as s out mouse clicked like this. Okay. Then we can take another example, double click, and we can print here mouse clicked twice. Okay. So this is a class mouse. We define the attributes or the data inside of the mouse, and these are the behaviors of the mouse. So how do we create object? Jit Chantra, good evening. Okay. So how do we create the objects? To create objects, there is a particular syntax. Okay. So to create object, let me write the main method first as it is necessary. Okay. To create an object, first I need to define the type. What type it is? The type is mouse. Okay. In the earlier class, we wrote that classes are the non-primitive data types. Okay. So it should be declared like int x or int y. The mouse object should be declared as mouse obj or anything. You can write as mouse xyz or mouse small mouse or mouse obj, anything as you wish. So this is the data type of the identifier, and this is the name of the identifier, that is obj I am giving. Okay. So then we have to assign the object to a value. So we can write as mouse because we want the class mouse to be assigned in the object, but this is not the right way. Okay. To create a new object of a particular class, we need a particular keyword. Okay. So what is that keyword? That is new keyword. So new is a memory allocation keyword that creates a memory location in the memory for a new object. Okay. So this should be done like this, but we are seeing the error. What is the error? Let's see what is the error. Okay, it is not opening. Okay, see here open. So it tells us that square bracket or parenthesis expected at line 19. Okay. So here we see that it is telling us to give here a parenthesis. Now here is the confusion. Why do we need a parenthesis here? Because when we creating objects, we need the constructor of the class. So now the question becomes, what is constructor? Okay. When you see this particular word or particular statement, you can see that mouse and parenthesis, it is like calling a function. We talked in the previous class, when a function is called, we write the function name along with the parenthesis. So it is not a function. Mouse is a class though, but still we are writing it with the parenthesis. So now comes the constructor into action. Okay, so what is constructor? Let me tell you. Constructor is a special type of function whose name is same as the class name. Okay, so constructor, how to declare constructor? We can declare as void, sorry, void b should be small, void class name as same name, mouse with no parameter. Then we can write as s out object created. Okay, so I created a function whose name is same as the name of the class name. So this is called a constructor. Okay. Sagar Moria method without return type. No, Sagar, we have the return type here void. It is not a method without return type. Okay. We have a you can say that method return. We can omit the void also because as long it will always return a void. Okay. We can like public or private when the access specifier, but it will always return a void. Okay. So you can say that method without return type is a constructor. Okay. And the constructor name must be always same as the class name. Okay. So when this method is called or the constructor is called, it is called every time when you create a new object of this particular class. Okay. So if I run it, let's see what happens. See, we can here see the output as object created because while calling the constructor, we have wrote the body of constructor as system.out.println object created. So whenever we create the object of a new class, the constructor is called. And by calling the constructor, we create the object of the particular class. Okay. So if we need some in value to initialize, then we can initialize it here. Like I need the color as suppose blue. Okay. I can write it as I can pass a parameter writing string color and use it here. Okay. So color is equals to color. This should be like this. So I want to assign the color variable to this color variable. Okay. So by calling this, I should write as mouse color is my blue. Okay. So I should write like this color blue. So if I try to run it now, it is showing object created. Okay, no issue. But the thing is, you can see here, this is not showing that color is used. Okay, if I go to the problems, it is saying that field color is never used, but here we use the color. Okay, let me print it again. S out color. Okay, see small. Okay, see. So color is color. Now the color says it is blue, but the thing is, this color and this color are not same. Okay, this color and this color are not same yet because this color refers to the color we are passing through the constructor, and this color is being assigned to itself when we are writing color is equals to color. So to assign the parameterized color to our object color, we have to write a keyword that is this. Okay, so now what is this? This refers to the current object. So while creating a object, I should write this, then this refers to the current object. If I write this dot color, then this color refers to this color, and the color I have assigned refers to the parameter that I have passed through the argument of by calling the constructor here. Okay, so let me create another method that is void print color. Okay, so what should it do? It should print the color s out, sorry, s out color. Okay, so instead of writing it here, let me just create another function. Okay, now how to access other functions and the variables? We can write it with the help of obj. Just now we created the mouse object by creating the mouse obj is equal to new mouse and pass the parameter blue for the color. Now how we can access properties and attributes? By using the dot operator. We can write obj dot color or obj dot print color. Okay, we can write like s out obj dot color, or we can write like obj dot print color. Both should print blue. See here the color prints blue, but if I remove the this keyword, see here, if I remove the this keyword, see the color becomes null. Why does it become null? So we have passed here the parameter blue, the color should be blue, but it is showing us null because, okay, let me minimize it, because this color is not this color. Okay, these are different color. This color is being assigned to itself here. So that's why we needed this keyword. Okay, if I write here colors instead of color and here is I use colors, then it will work because the name are not same. Okay, here we get the output blue blue both the times. But if the names are same, then the compiler gets confused and it assigns to itself. That's why we needed this keyword to refer the current object of this class. Okay, everyone understood this topic? Reply me. Anyone have any doubts? To access the properties and attributes of the classes, we use the dot operator. Just like this, we use obj dot single click. Likewise, we use obj dot double click, and we can write s out obj. Now, first assign it. Okay, we can assign like this: obj dot weight is equals to 130. Okay, now we can print the weight s out obj dot weight. Okay, let's run it. So you can see here mouse click function is called by accessing the obj dot single click and mouse click twice by obj dot double click. We assign the weight outside of the class by using the object, that is obj dot weight, and this obj dot weight refers to this weight. Okay, and it is assigned to the value as 130 and it is printed in the console as 130. Neeraj Sharma, no sir. Okay, Neeraj Sharma, in what part did you not understand? Please tell me. Where did you lack? I will explain you again. Neeraj Sharma. Which part did you not get? Okay, what sir? No, you wrote no sir, so I thought you did not understand one thing, so I asked. Okay, so if you are clear, then we can continue. Okay, and there is a thing that by creating one class, that is, it is a mouse, this is one class, and we can use but more than one objects of this class. Okay, so here I created mouse obj, it is a single object. Now we can create another object as mouse obj2 and new mouse, and we need to assign a color, let it be green this time. Okay, semicolon. So now, okay, no doubt Neeraj Sharma, that's good. So now print obj dot print color. Okay, then we can see that, sorry, obj2 it should be obj2 dot print color. Let's run it. Okay, now we can see here green. Okay, so see here, we define the structure of the mouse only one time, but by creating the objects here, that is obj and obj2, we can access many more objects of the classes. Likewise, mouse is a single class, but there are various kind of mouse, Logitech mouse and HP mouse or Dell mouse. Okay, so we can use various objects for one classes. Okay, but the class should be one. And how can you create the object? By using the new keyword and the constructor of the class. Okay, am I clear then? Mansi Rawal, no doubt. Very good, Mansi. So now comes the concept of static keyword. Okay, what is static keyword now? The static keyword is used for class level members. And remember, the class level members is shared by all objects. So you don't have to create the object explicitly for that particular static variable or methods. Okay, so how to use it? Let me write it here. Okay, it is there is no static keyword here, then they are all non-static. Let me declare a static, that is company. Okay, so static string company. Okay, so it is a static string company. Now we can use it anywhere. Okay, so we created a class mouse. Now we need to use it. So how to use it? We can direct use. If you write company, there is nothing, so you have to write mouse dot company. You see, to access the static variables and static methods, we can use the class name and the dot operator. Remember, guys, to use the non-static variables and non-static methods, we have to create the object of that particular class. But when it is static, here, when it is static or it is written within the static block, then we don't have to create the object. Rather, we can create the static, we can use the static variable method by using the dot operator. Neeraj Sharma, is no need to create object in static method. Yes, Neeraj Sharma, that's right. There is no need to create object in a static method. Why? Because the static keyword is used for class level members and the class level members are shared by all objects. Okay, so you can say that mouse.company, let me write as static mouse.company. Company is equals to suppose say Logitech. Okay, so in the Logitech company, it has various kinds of mouse. So the company name is same, but the color, weight, and number of buttons of all mouse can vary. Okay. So static, we don't need object, but non-static, we need objects. Okay. So now let's come to the basic structure of Java, which we started at the day one. Now I will tell you what are the particular keywords. Okay. Okay. So here it is public class main. What is public and what are private, we will talk in the coming time. Okay, so here is the class keyword. The class keyword is used to create a class. The main is the class name. Okay, so public again is the access specifier we are going to talk. Then static is a static keyword used for class level members, and because the main method is static, then the compiler does not have to create the object of the main class while running the program. Okay, I told you in the first class that to run the program, compiler first searches for the main method. And to access the main method, compiler does not have to create the object because we are using the static keyword here. Okay. So what is void? Void is a return type that does not return anything. And here we created the mouse object by using the new keyword and mouse constructor. We access the static keyword by using the class name and dot operator. And while using in the same class, we don't even need the mouse class name. Okay. So if I write here print color, I can simply also write system.out.println company. I don't have to create an object or anything. Okay. I can simply write company inside the same class, but if it is outside of the class, then I have to write class name dot the property or the method. Okay, am I clear, guys? Anyone reply me? Am I clear? Okay, so I don't think there is any doubt. So let's create another class for access specifiers. Okay, Java class access specifiers. Okay, yes, very good. So did we write the note? Yes, we write mouse behaviors. Okay, so how to create the object? So the syntax is class name like the data type, class name, then object name is equals to new keyword and the class constructor. This is the way to declare a object of a particular class. Okay. So now what are access specifiers? Access. Hello guys, can you listen me? My internet was disconnected. There was a power cut, so my internet was gone. Am I audible now? Hello? Okay, yes, fine. Then what are access specifiers? Okay. Access specifiers, or it is often called as access modifiers. Both are true. So what are access specifiers? Now these are used to control the visibility of classes, methods, variables. It should be and classes, method, and variables. Okay. So what do you learn? Access modifiers or the access specifier are used to control the visibility of classes, methods, and variables. So what are the types of the access specifiers? There are mainly four types of access specifiers, that are private, then comes public, then comes protected, then default. Okay, there is no order, you can write in any order. Okay, so what are the accessibility of these types? We can write like this: within class, then we can write as same package, then we can write as subclass. What is subclass? We will learn in the inheritance concept. Then other package. Okay, let me expand it. We can see it better. Okay, so now you can see it that the private keyword makes the modifier or the class, methods, or the variable accessible within only the same classes. Okay, so it should be true. Now in the same package, can we access the private in any other class within the same package? The answer is no. In using the private keyword, the private access specifier, we can use the methods, variables, or classes only within the same class, not in other classes in other package, or not even in the subclasses. Okay, not in other package also. But using the public keyword, we can access it anywhere. Okay, so using the public keyword, we can access it anywhere. That may be inside the same class, in the different class, in the same package, or in the other package, doesn't matter. Using the public keyword, we can access it everywhere. That's why we always write for the first line public class, and the void main method is always public. That's why the compiler can access it. Okay. Now, using the protected, we can access it within the same class. Okay, we can access it within the same class, obviously. And in the same package, we cannot access it within the same package unless it is inherited by an other class. Okay, so we can access it or we cannot access it, depends upon the class that is inherited or not. And what is inheritance, we are going to learn in some time. Okay, so in subclass, yes, of course, because it is inherited. In other package, definitely not. Okay. Now, there comes default. In default, we can access within the same class and within the same package. Okay. Within the subclass also we can access, and in other package, we cannot access the default. Now, what is default? We have not seen a default keyword anywhere else. So the default access specifier is when we declare something without public, private, or any protected keyword. This is called a default access specifier. Okay. So here I have written public class main. Okay. If I write here private class main, see, it is giving me the error. So what is the error? Modifier private not allowed here. Okay. So there is one single class that is private. So if the class is private, then I have to make it public. Okay. So it is saying that modifier private is not allowed here in line 27. What does it mean? A class can never be private. Okay. Remember guys, a class can never be private. Okay. So in class, we can either use the default or the public. So now this is showing us error because we have used the public in the mouse class, but our file name is main.java. I have told you earlier that the class name which is same as the file name should be always the public class. So let's write it one public. Okay. Okay, guys. So now there is one more difference. There cannot be more than one public class inside a single file. So here is the public class. The file name is same as main. So we don't have to write here public. Got it, everyone? Now all the errors have gone. We can see here public. Okay. Okay. So now if I make this private, if I make this weight private, now I can access this weight inside the class mouse. But when I tried it in the class main, like this, obj weight is equals to 130, I tried to assign the weight variable, the value of giving me the error. What is the error? It says weight has private access in day3.mouse. Okay. So what is day3? Day3 is our package here, and mouse is the class inside day3 that is here. And it says that it has the private access specifier. That's why it cannot access. Sir, can you explain what is package in detail? Yes, of course. Package is nothing but a folder structure, or you can see here inside this Java folder, we have day one, day two, day three kind of folders, and all these folders are called packages in Java. Package is nothing else but a folder in which we have Java classes. Okay. Neeraj Sharma, sir, CA. I don't get you, Neeraj Sharma. What do you mean by CA? Can you please elaborate it? Gopal, did you understand? Package is nothing but a folder inside a Java folder in which we have the Java classes. Okay, so we can import one package into another package by using the import keyword. Like if I want to use the loops method or loops class of day 2 package inside day 3 package, then I can import it like this. Import day 2. Just like this, we can import it. Okay. So now it is giving me error. Let's see what is the error. Cannot resolve symbol day 2. Okay. Import we should write as java.main2, I think. Why is it giving us error? It should be day 2. Import day 2. Yes, I will explain access modifiers again. Just let me check why is it giving the errors. Is it org dot or the external packages are forbidden? Import, there is no keyword package which should write as import day 2 directly. It should import it. Cannot resolve day 2. Import day 2 is not accessible. Why? Uh, if you write import src, no, there is no src. There is main dot, no. There is java dot. We can use the built-in packages like this, java dot. Okay. Okay, we cannot import the package. We can direct import the main method. Okay. So if I try import loops, day 2 dot loops. See, here we give the position as loops. We can click here and it says day 2 dot loops. Okay, now the error is gone. Okay, see, Sagar Moria, import day 3 dot day 2. No, no, this is not the way. We cannot import the particular package directly. Okay, we can import the specific class of a particular package. Here in day 2, we have a class named loop. So we have to import day 2 of the package, use a dot operator and import the particular class. Okay, so by using now loops, okay, let me create the object of loop because I don't remember anything as static in loop. See here, I don't think anything in loops is static. Okay, it is a static. Print my name method is static, so we don't have need to create the object. Okay, in main.java, we can direct call it as loops.print my name. Okay, we can direct not here but inside the main method. Where is the main method? Okay, here is the main method. We can write it as loops.print my name. Okay, so now what is the problem? Print my name is not public. See here, in the loops, it is static, but it is not public access specifier. So Neeraj Sharma, I am explaining the access specifier again. You can see now. So I have discussed that using public keyword, we can access the particular variable or the method or any class within the same class, in the same package, in the subclass or other package or other packages. Okay. But in the loops.java, I have not declared any access specifier. So by default, it is a default access specifier. And in default access specifier, what specialties do we have? We can access it within the same class, within the same package. But here in day 3, we are in a different package and we cannot access within a different package. So to access it, we have to make this public. Once we make this print my name class public, then we can use it inside the main of okay, now this needs an argument. So I can write here as Sagar. Then the age is 10. Okay. So now this, so I should comment this. This is a private. Okay, when I run it, see, this is written that object created and green. Okay, Sagar, see here is written that Sagar is 10 years old. Okay, so we import the class from another package by using the import statement. Import the package name is day2 and the class name is loops. Since it was public and static, we can directly use it by using the class name that is loops.printMyName. Okay, so now what happens if it is not static? Okay, so if I remove the word static, okay, if I remove static, then we have got the problem here, that is loops that print by name is not valid. Now we have to create the object. How can we create the object? Now we can write loop is equal to loops new loops. Then we can write as loop dot print my name. Okay. Okay, what is the use of protected modifier? Yes, Neeraj, we are coming to the protected modifier when we are learning inheritance. Okay, so it is a concept of inheritance because there is the concept of child class and parent class. And here we discussed that using the protected access modifier, the variables and methods can only be accessed within the same class and within the subclass. That is the class which inherited the superclass or the parent class. Okay, so let's come to the base of the OOPS. So in OOPS, we have mainly four things. Okay, in OOPS, we have mainly four things that are abstraction, then inheritance, then encapsulation, then polymorphism. These four are the basic fundamentals or the four pillars of the OOPS concept. Okay, so let's start from inheritance as we need to explain the protected keyword. Okay, so what is inheritance? Inheritance allows one class to acquire the properties and methods of another class. Okay, like you are the child of your parents, so you have some of the properties of your parents. You have your own properties and you have the some properties of your parents. Likewise, inheritance is a property or inheritance is a technique that allows one class to acquire the properties and methods of another class. Okay, so how can we write it? Let me close the loop and make it static again. It should be static, and let's close it. Then we don't need the object here. We can directly use loops dot print my name like Alex and 20. Okay. So coming to inheritance, let's create another class here. Let it be a parent class. This is a parent class. Okay. And let's create another child class. Java class child. Okay. Okay. So let's close this. And now we have work in parent class. Okay. So we need a now we don't need main method as this is only a class. So we need the properties and attributes. Okay, so you tell me what is the common thing between you and your parent? Tell me. The first thing I guess it should be your title because your surname must be derived from your parent's name. So let's write a string title, your title or your surname. Okay, and what more thing? Your parents' money, of course, your parents' money is yours money. So let's take as int money. Okay. Okay. So let's create another class that is adopted child. Okay. Don't be very personal. This is just for example. No comments or no issues. Okay. So this is for the parent class and this is for the adopted child and this is for the child. Okay. So the child has its own name. So it will have its own name like string name and a title string. No, the title should be inherited from the parent. Okay. So what does we do in adopted child? It will also have a name, string name. Okay. Okay. So now we we want to give the title to both of our childs. Okay, so what do we have to do? We have to inherit both the childs, the parent property. So how can I do that? To use inheritance, we have to use the keyword extends. Okay, extends, and the class name is parent. By using extends keyword, the child class can access the properties of the parent. Okay, so now let's try something. Okay, is s out. Okay, I need the main method first, psbm. Then I can try printing the title. Let's first print the name, then print the title. Okay, so why is it giving error? Let's see. Non-static field name cannot be referred to a static concept. Okay, so first this since this is not static, we have to create an object to access this variable. Okay, let's create the object of child. So this is child. Child is equals to new child. Okay, this is a new child. So we have to write now child dot name, and this is child dot title. Okay, let me assign the name as Shruti. Okay, so we have done this and there is no error up to now. Let's assign a title here. Let's assign the title as Singhania. Okay, let him be royal and let him have some money of amount 25,000. Okay, we just said he is a royal family, but he has only 25,000 amount. Okay, so the child class is extended by using the extended keyword, and it is inheriting the title. Okay, so now let's run it. Okay, now we can see Shruti and we can see Singhania. Okay, did you get it? But if you use another class that is not extended, okay, so now we can clear a object using the main method psbm void main, and now let's create the object of parent. uh, parent parent is equals to new parent. Okay, so now I can access the money using the parent dot money, and I can print it. Okay, so since I have not inherited the class parent, I should not have the access to access the money attribute of parent class. Okay, but I can access it using the parent class. So if I run this, see here, I can access the amount, but I am not inheriting the parent class. But here in child class, I am inheriting the parent class, so I can access the title as well as the money. Okay, as well as the money. It is valid, but it is not valid to access without inheriting. So what can we do? We can make the money and title as protected. If we define it as protected, let's see now. Let's save this and now run this. Okay, protected string created the object. Okay, we have directly created the object of this, but we don't want to create the object because this is protected and we are directly creating the object of parent class. So we need to create the object of adopted child class. Okay, protected money. This is money. Yes, this is money. So we can use it as adopted child is equals to new adopted child. Then I can try printing child dot. See, it has only name but does not have any title or money since it is not inherited the parent class. Okay. Once I extend it with the parent, then it will have the property. Okay. So you can see here, it has the title and it has the money property. So that is the concept of inheritance. Okay. Everyone clear about this? Hello? Everyone clear, or does anyone have any doubt? Hello? I don't get any reply. Am I audible, guys? Hello? Sagar Moria, clear. Okay, that's very good to hear. Shruti, yes, very good. Okay, so now let's come to the types of inheritance. Okay, there are many types of inheritance. Types of inheritance. Okay, so what are the types of Sonal Bhoi? Yes, Mayur Mitkar, yes, very good. So let's discuss the types of inheritance. The first one is the first one is what? Multi. No, the first one is single level or single inheritance. Okay. Example: parent to child. Okay. This is a single inheritance. Let's not write like just write like this. Then comes multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. What does it mean? This means parent, it is inherited by its child, and the child class is again inherited by the grandchild. Like your father inherited the properties of your grandfather, and you inherited the properties of your father. This is called multi-level inheritance. Okay. So now, what is multiple inheritance? Multiple inheritance. What is this? So this is father is inherited by child, and mother is also inherited by child. When a child class is inherited by more than one classes, it is known as multiple inheritance. Okay, am I clear? Okay, then comes the hierarchical inheritance. Okay, hierarchical inheritance. Okay, so Java does not support multiple inheritance. Okay, remember guys, Java does not support multiple inheritance, and we will learn later why it does not support multiple inheritance. Okay, so another is hierarchical inheritance, and one more there is hybrid inheritance. And for sad news, Java does not support also the hybrid inheritance, as it is the combination of all the inheritance. Okay, inherit, inherit, T A N C A. I'm bad at spelling, so don't mind it. Okay, so let's take example of each. So just now we created a class with parent class, and there are two class extending the parent class. Okay, so these two are hierarchical inheritance. One class is being inherited by more than one classes. This is called hierarchical inheritance. That is, let me write like this: hierarchical inheritance. This is parent inherits child one and child two. Sorry, parent is inherited by child one and child two. Okay, so here parent, it is inherited by adopted child and his own child. Okay, this is hierarchical inheritance. So what is single inheritance? If we remove the adopted child, there is a single inheritance. The parent only is inherited by the child class. This is the single inheritance. Okay, so now let's consider the grandchild. The grandchild, let's create a new file. This is called grandchild. Okay, so what is grandchild? It should extend the child class, not the parent class, but the child class. So now let's create the main method and create the object of grandchild. Okay, create the object of grandchild. Obj is equals to new grandchild. Okay, so now we have created the object. Now let's see what do we have inside object. Okay, in object we have, see, we have money. Grandchild does not have any property of its own. Okay, here I have declared no property that belongs to grandchild. Okay, so there is the name that belongs to the child class. Here the child, it has the property name, and again using the dot operator, the title and money, this comes from the parent class, not the child class. The grandchild is inheriting the child class, and the child class is inheriting the parent class. So indirectly, the grandchild class is also inheriting the parent class. Okay. Neeraj Sharma, I cannot understand the role of protected. Okay, so protected is used to limit the visibility of a particular variable or method to the same class and its derived class or inherited class. Okay, so like I discussed, using the parent class, if I write a protected and make a variable protected, this protected title, this protected money can only be used inside the same class, that is parent, and inside the inherited class, that is child and the grandchild. Okay, this can be used only in the derived class. So as we write here, you can see this table here. In the protected, the same class we can access the variable. In the same package we can access or not, depends on the subclass is in same class or not, same package or not. And in the sum class or the inherited class we can access it. Okay, so what does the parent class and child class come called by other names? The parent class is often called as a base class or called as superclass. These three are same thing, and the child class is derived class and subclass. These three are same thing. Okay. So when a class is a subclass of another class, it can access if it is protected. Using public, the variables or methods can be accessed anywhere, but using protected, we can access it within the class, within the same package or not, and within the subclass, but we cannot access it outside the package. Okay. Are you clear now, Niraj? Okay, okay, very good. So we have completed single inheritance and hierarchical inheritance and multi-level inheritance. So what is multiple inheritance? Multiple inheritance refers to one class is being inherited by more than one classes. Okay. So let's create a class father. This is a class father, and let's create another class mother. Okay. Let's create another class mother. Okay, so now considering the same, what is the error? Okay, let me remove the dot, I just write the money. Okay, consider again the child class. This time, this does not extend parent. This extends particularly father and mother. Okay, so this shows me the error. So what is the error? It says cannot extend multiple classes. Why does it show this way? So let me tell you. Okay, suppose father. Okay, suppose father, it has a method that is void display. It has a method of void display that has the perform I am father. Okay, and here in the mother class, we have the same method name that is display, and this tells I am mother. Okay, so see here. Here is a class, sorry, method display that tells that I am mother. And in father class, also we have a function display and says I am father. Now the thing is, when we I'm sorry, students, there was some internet issue. Okay, am I audible now? Hello, students. There was some internet issue. My internets were disrupted. Okay, am I audible now? Sonal Boy, Neeraj Sharma, am I audible now? Hello, hello. Sonal bhai, yes sir. Okay, very good. So where did I left? Okay, so I just told you why Java does not support multiple inheritance. Let me tell you once again in case my voice did not reach you. Okay, so here in the father class we have a display method, and here in the mother class we have the same display method, but the body of both the display methods are different. In the mother class we are printing I am mother, and in the father class we are printing I am father. But while creating the objects or the while inheriting the classes with the child, there is only one display method. That is, let me show you. See, here one is here it is only one display method. Okay, so now the compiler will get confused that in which class or from which class this method is coming from, and it will generate a error. So that is why Java does not support multiple inheritance. Am I clear? Okay, so that completes our inheritance concept. I hope you guys are clear up to inheritance. Are everyone clear, or does anybody have any doubts up to this? Anyone? Do you have any kind of doubts? Okay, I don't think anyone has any doubts. No one is saying anything. Okay. Mayur, Mitkar. Okay, yes, sir. Everything clear. That's good. Okay. So let's go to the next topic, that is encapsulation. It will be the last topic for today's session. The remaining we will learn tomorrow. Okay. The remainings we will learn tomorrow. Let's go to the interface support multiple inheritance. Yes, Mayur, interface support multiple inheritance, and we will learn the interface tomorrow after completing abstraction and polymorphism. Today we will complete up to encapsulation. Then in tomorrow's session we will complete abstraction, polymorphism, and interfaces. Okay. So yes, interface support multiple inheritance, and we will also see how does it support. Okay. Sagar Moria, I have doubt from yesterday's topic. Okay, Sagar, you can tell your doubt. Then after clearing your doubt, if you have time, then we will learn encapsulation. Otherwise, we will learn it tomorrow. You can tell your doubt. And if anyone else has any doubt, then you can also tell me. I will clear your doubt now. After clearing everyone's doubt, if we have time, then I will start encapsulation. Otherwise, we will start it tomorrow. Okay. Yesterday you printed numbers from 1 to 10. Can we print English alphabets using loops? Yes, why not? Let me show you. Okay, here is the loops class. Let me create another in the day 2. Okay, see, in Java class, let me name it as alphabets. Okay, so let's create a main method. Okay, and here in the for loop, let me write it what I did earlier. Okay, int 1, sorry, int I is equals to 1. Then the condition is I is less than is equals to 10, and the update is I plus plus, that is I is incremented by 1. Then for each iteration, I want to print the variable I. Okay. So this was the thing we did in yesterday's session. Okay. So here is the error in child. Okay. Let me remove this as Java does not support it. So it is showing the error. Okay. Let's go to the loops.java, sorry, alphabets.java, and run the file. Combine obj.money. Okay, let's comment it out for now. And alphabets, run it. Okay, now we can see the output. See, here it says 1 to 10 in the like the previous classes. Now let's try to print the alphabets using for loop. Okay, so we had a data type like char. If you guys remember, we had a data type as char. So we can initialize it as char and name it as alpha, short form for alphabets, and we can initialize with a. Okay, let's initialize it with a. As char, it is only a single character, its length is 1, so we can write char alpha is equals to a. Then what is the condition? The condition is alpha is less than is equals to g. Okay, so what is our condition? Condition is alpha is less than is equals to g, and to update we can write alpha plus plus. Okay. So now what can we do? We can simply print them. So instead of print ln, I am writing print. So print alpha to show it in one line, alpha, and separating it with some spaces like this. Let's run it. See here, we get from English alphabet A to Z. So you might consider alpha is less than equals to condition and alpha plus plus. These are the numeric conditions and numeric option operations. How can we perform a numeric operations with the English characters? That's because every alphabet or every character in the keyboard you have a particular ASCII numeric value. Okay, every character in your keyboard have a particular ASCII value, and ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, so let me write it here. What is ASCII? ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, so according to this ASCII value, the ASCII value of capital A to capital Z is 65 to 90. Okay, so when I write here char alpha is equals to A, the compiler by default or in the background, she understands that char alpha is equals to ASCII value 65, not A. So when we are incrementing the value of alpha by 1, it is incrementing the value of ASCII character or ASCII value, that is from 65 to 66, and the value of 66 in alphabet is B. Okay, are you guys clear now? So same likewise from small a to small z, the ASCII value is 97 to 122, I think. Then from 0 to 9, the ASCII value is 48 to 57. Okay, so these are the ASCII values commonly we need to know, and this is how we printed the alphabets from A to Z. And likewise, we can also print from backwards. Let me give a println for a new line, and we can print as char alpha is equals to Z, then alpha is greater than is equals to A, the condition, then alpha, here I have to do alpha minus minus. Okay, so now let's print it. System.out.print alpha, then some space. Okay, so you can see here it is printed from ascending order and it is printed in descending order. Okay, Sagar Maurya, are you clear now? Did you get it? Sagar Maurya, did you get it? Anyone else? Do you have any doubt regarding this or any other topic? You can ask me. Sagar? Okay, I think everyone are clear now. Okay, so thank you, sir. I understand now. Very good, Sagar. Sonal bhai, yes, sir. Very good. Okay, so encapsulation, this is a short topic. Uh, can you guys give me 10 to 15 minutes? I will cover the encapsulation topic and we will learn the abstraction and the other things in tomorrow class. Or should we stop now? You guys tell me, will you give me 10 to 15 minutes to complete the encapsulation topic, or should we complete in the next session? Tell me, guys. I need 10 to 15 minutes for this encapsulation topic. Okay. So should we do this now, or we will do this in tomorrow session? As you tell me, therefore we will go. Okay, I am not getting any responses. I think you guys are tired for now for this session, as it is already 1 hour and above. So, okay, that's all right. We will start tomorrow from encapsulation. So that's all for today. And I expect you guys to go through this video once again. Let us recap what does we learn today in today's section. So we learned about the OOPS concept and the example of mouse. We learned about the object and the classes. We learned how to create the objects. We learned about the static keyword. Let me write it here just to note. We learned about the static keyword. We learned about the access specifiers. There are four access specifiers: private, public, protected, and default. Then in the OOPS concept, we learned about the inheritance. There are various kinds of inheritance, five types of inheritance, but Java supports only three. And from the next session, we will continue from encapsulation, then polymorphism, then abstraction. Okay. After abstraction, we will come to inheritance. Am I clear? So that's all for today, I think. I don't think anyone have any doubts. So let's wind up for today. Thank you guys for your patience. Okay. See you tomorrow, guys.